In the vast, unforgiving desert of northeast Africa, a civilization of unparalleled grandeur rose from the dust, powered by the lifeblood of a single, mighty river. This is the story of ancient Egypt, a story that begins not with pharaohs and pyramids, but with water, mud, and the dawn of a new world. For millennia, the Nile River has followed a timeless rhythm, swelling each year to flood its banks, leaving behind a gift of rich, black soil in its wake. It was this fertile promise that around 6000 BCE drew nomadic peoples from the drying Sahara to its shores, trading a life of wandering for the stability of settlement. These early communities grew into villages, and villages into towns, each vying for control of precious land and water. A complex society began to form, giving rise to powerful chieftains who led their people in both agriculture and warfare. Over centuries, two distinct kingdoms emerged: Lower Egypt in the marshy northern delta, and Upper Egypt in the long southern valley. They were two lands, two cultures, symbolized by two crowns, the red crown of the north and the white crown of the south. History held its breath, waiting for a leader strong enough to make them one. Around 3100 BCE, that leader emerged from the south. His name was Narmer. In a series of conquests immortalized on the legendary Narmer palette, he subdued the north and for the first time wore both crowns, uniting the two lands under a single divine ruler. This pivotal moment marks the birth of the Egyptian state and the beginning of its first dynasty. The title of pharaoh was born, a king viewed not merely as a ruler, but as a living god on earth. With unification came an explosion of cultural and technological innovation. To manage the new kingdom, the Egyptians developed one of the world's first writing systems, hieroglyphs. A class of educated scribes arose to record laws, track tribute, and administer the will of the pharaoh. A state religion was formalized, with priests who maintained the cosmic order through complex rituals, ensuring the favor of the gods and the continued prosperity of the kingdom. The foundations of a civilization destined to last for 3,000 years were being laid in stone and scripture. As the early dynastic period solidified the pharaoh's power, their eternal destiny became a primary focus. Early rulers were buried in mud brick tombs known as mastabas. But for one king of the third dynasty, Djoser, this was not enough. His brilliant architect Imhotep conceived of a revolutionary idea: a stairway to the heavens, built not of mud, but of stone. By stacking 6 mastabas of decreasing size, he created the world's first monumental stone building, the Step Pyramid. It was a declaration of power and faith, unlike anything the world had ever seen. And it was only the beginning. The dawn had broken, and the age of the pyramids was about to begin. The stone stairway to the heavens built for King Djoser was a revolution. But it was only a prelude. The dawn of Egypt's fourth dynasty, around 2600 BCE, heralded an obsession with perfection and scale that would defy the limits of human achievement. This was the Old Kingdom, the age of the great pyramid builders. It began with one ambitious king, Sneferu, who would build more stone than any other pharaoh in history. His quest for the perfect pyramid was a journey of spectacular trial and error. At Meidum, his first attempt to convert a step pyramid into a true, smooth-sided monument ended in a catastrophic collapse. Undeterred, he moved to Dashur and began again. The result was the Bent Pyramid, a monument whose angle abruptly changes halfway up, a clear sign that his architects feared a similar disaster and made a last-minute conservative adjustment. Finally, on his third attempt, Sneferu achieved perfection. The Red Pyramid, named for the warm glow of its core limestone, stands as the world's first successful true pyramid. A serene, majestic tomb that paved the way for the ultimate wonder. Sneferu's son, Khufu, inherited not only the throne but also his father's ambition, magnified. On a rocky plateau known as Giza, he would build his legacy. An eternal monument of such breathtaking scale and precision that it would be the tallest man-made structure on Earth for nearly 4,000 years. The Great Pyramid of Giza. For 2 decades, a nation was mobilized. Over 2 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons, were quarried and transported with astonishing accuracy. This colossal undertaking was not the work of slaves, but of a dedicated, well-fed workforce of skilled laborers who lived in a purpose-built city nearby. Khufu's pyramid was the anchor of a vast necropolis. His son, Khafra, built a second pyramid, slightly smaller but appearing taller on higher ground, and gave it a guardian for eternity, the Great Sphinx, a mythical creature with the body of a lion and the face of the king himself. Khafra's successor, Menkaure, added a third, smaller pyramid, completing a complex that was a perfectly aligned, physical manifestation of the Egyptian cosmos, a gateway to the afterlife for their divine kings. The pyramids of Giza are the defining achievement of the Old Kingdom. They are more than just tombs. They are a testament to the power of a unified state, a national project that harnessed the resources, labor, and faith of an entire civilization. They are mountains of stone, built with the belief that a king's journey into the afterlife ensured the eternal prosperity of Egypt itself, leaving a legacy that, even after 4,500 years, has lost none of its power to awe and inspire. The age of the Great Pyramids was over. Their colossal forms, intended to last for eternity, had instead become irresistible beacons for tomb robbers. As Egypt entered a new era of empire and unprecedented wealth, the New Kingdom, the pharaohs devised a new strategy for their eternal rest. They turned to the desolate sun-baked cliffs opposite the great city of Thebes, and there, in secret, they carved their tombs into the living rock. This was the Valley of the Kings, a royal necropolis designed not for spectacle, but for concealment. The wealth that filled these hidden tombs was beyond imagination, fueled by conquest and trade. The pharaohs of the New Kingdom were warrior kings, leading their armies deep into Nubia to the south, securing control of its inexhaustible gold mines. From the east, tribute flowed from vassal states. Visionary rulers like the female pharaoh Hatshepsut dispatched great expeditions to the fabled land of Punt, returning with incense, ivory, and untold riches. Gold was not mere currency. It was believed to be the flesh of the gods, and the pharaohs adorned themselves and their temples with it to display their divine status. This immense wealth was power. It funded the ever-growing priesthood of the state god Amun-Ra, whose temple at Karnak became the wealthiest institution in the land, and it allowed pharaohs like Ramesses the Great to embark on building programs of a scale never seen before, stamping his image on colossal statues and temples throughout Egypt. For the pharaoh, wealth was propaganda, a declaration of might and a guarantee of legacy. And for their journey into the afterlife, it was a vital necessity. Every object, from a golden chariot to a delicate jewel, was a tool for eternity. For thousands of years, the world could only guess at the true splendor of a pharaoh's burial. Robbers had emptied nearly every tomb. But in 1922, after years of tireless searching, the British archaeologist Howard Carter made a discovery that would stun the world. He found a sealed doorway, miraculously untouched for over 3,000 years. After clearing the rubble, he made a small breach, held up a candle, and peered in. His financial backer, Lord Carnarvon, asked impatiently, "Can you see anything?" Carter could only stammer, "Yes, wonderful things." He had found the tomb of Tutankhamun. The world was given its first and only glimpse into a complete, intact royal burial. Room after room was filled with thousands of objects: gilded thrones, alabaster vessels, sentinel statues, and golden chariots. At the heart of it all lay the sarcophagus, which protected a nest of 3 coffins, the innermost of which was crafted from over 110 kilograms of solid gold. And within it, the serene, breathtaking death mask of the boy king. It was not just the treasure of a single pharaoh. It was the ultimate proof of ancient Egypt's magnificent, golden vision of eternal life. Beyond the gold of the pharaohs and the mystique of the gods lies the true foundation of ancient Egypt's enduring power, a legacy of profound, practical genius. For 3,000 years, this civilization was not just sustained by faith, but engineered by innovators whose skills in science and technology were in many ways far beyond their time. Their story is written not just in hieroglyphs, but in the very fabric of their world. It began with the ordering of time itself. From their temple rooftops, astronomer priests tracked the heavens and noted a crucial pattern. The annual reappearance of the bright star Sirius just before sunrise coincided with the beginning of the Nile's flood. Based on this observation, they created a solar calendar of 365 days. It was so accurate that it became the basis for the calendar we use today. A monumental intellectual achievement that allowed them to predict their seasons and organize their entire society. This predictability was vital for taming the Nile. The Egyptians engineered one of the world's first large-scale irrigation networks. They dug miles of canals to channel the floodwaters into vast basins, saturating the land. For year-round farming, they invented the shaduf, a simple counterweighted lever that allowed a single farmer to lift water effortlessly to higher ground. This mastery over their environment created an agricultural surplus that fed the population, funded the state, and freed the labor needed for monumental construction. Their analytical brilliance extended to the human body. Ancient medical texts, like the remarkable Edwin Smith Papyrus, reveal that Egyptian physicians were not witch doctors, but rational practitioners. They could diagnose illnesses, identify over 48 types of trauma, set fractured bones, and even perform complex surgeries, stitching wounds with needle and thread. They had a deep understanding of anatomy and developed a clinical, case-by-case approach to medicine that was not seen again for centuries. This rational mindset required a sophisticated grasp of mathematics. How do you build a pyramid with sides aligned almost perfectly to the cardinal points? How do you recalculate the area of a farmer's field after the flood has washed away all the markers? The Egyptians developed a practical system of geometry and algebra, using a decimal system and a concept of fractions to solve complex problems, enabling their architectural wonders and ensuring social order. But their genius was also artistic. They were the first civilization to mass-produce an artificial gemstone, faience. By grinding quartz and minerals and firing them, their artisans created a vibrant, blue-glazed ceramic that mimicked precious turquoise, bringing a splash of divine color to the lives of rich and poor alike. In the New Kingdom, this chemical mastery evolved into true glassmaking, as they crafted exquisite, multicolored vessels that became prized luxuries across the ancient world. Science and art fused by fire. These were the true skills of ancient Egypt, a civilization built not just on belief, but on brilliance. The great monuments of Egypt awe us with their size, but their true genius lies in their precision. The perfect angles, the flawless alignments, the sheer, impossible geometry. These are not accidents of a bygone age. They are the calculated results of a powerful and practical mathematical system, a blueprint designed by mortals to build for the gods. This was a mathematics of doing, a tool set that turned rock, sand, and human effort into eternity. At its heart was a simple decimal system, used by armies of scribe accountants to manage the colossal logistics of the state. They calculated the millions of tons of stone needed for a single pyramid, the vast quantities of grain required to feed the workforce, and the number of men needed to haul a single obelisk. This was not abstract theory. It was the mathematics of national mobilization, the arithmetic that powered a civilization. Nowhere is this more evident than at Giza. The Great Pyramid's base is a near-perfect square, aligned to the cardinal points with an accuracy that would challenge modern surveyors. This feat was achieved using simple rote and astronomical observation. To maintain its iconic shape, architects employed a concept known as the sekhet, a measure of slope. By ensuring every course of stone adhered to the same sect, they created a smooth, unwavering angle from the desert floor to the sky, a man-made mountain of mathematical consistency. This logic of order and repetition was magnified at the Temple of Karnak. Its great hypostyle hall is a forest of 134 stone columns, each one a masterpiece of engineering. The layout is a perfect grid, a testament to careful planning. Egyptian engineers calculated the immense weight of the stone roof and determined the precise thickness and spacing of the columns needed to support it. Karnak is not just a place of worship, it is a masterclass in structural engineering and logistical mathematics. But the ultimate fusion of math and monuments was the control of light itself. The Great Sphinx gazes due east, greeting the rising sun on the equinox in a deliberate act of solar alignment. And at Abu Simbel, Rameses the Great commanded his architects to achieve the impossible. They carved his temple deep into a mountain with such geometric precision that twice a year the rays of the rising sun pierced the darkness of the sanctuary, illuminating the statues of the gods and of the pharaoh himself. It is a breathtaking calculation, a heavenly event captured in stone. From laying a foundation to capturing a sunbeam, Egyptian mathematics was the silent, invisible force behind their greatest achievements. Their monuments are not just feats of strength, but enduring symbols of a civilization that could measure, calculate, and engineer its world into a state of divine and everlasting order.